Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? So I have a new deck that I'm going to be using, and I couldn't decide between which tarot deck I wanted to use today. I was being so indecisive, so I'm going to just let you guys decide. So here we have the Green Glyphs tarot deck, this one, and then here we have the Game of Thrones tarot. So let me know in the comments which ones you guys want to do. Meanwhile, I'm going to use this new deck. This is Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. If you're on my Instagram or TikTok, then you probably saw the reel or TikTok that I did of this. I literally just got this like yesterday. So I'm going to just get it all shuffled. Going to do the community pool. And as I do that, let me know which tarot deck you want, either Game of Thrones or Green Glyphs. Hey, Sai. Hi, Oasis. Skittle Farts. I like that name. Eric Haze, how are you guys doing today? So I'm going to just do a community poll with the Earth, Moon, Shadow Oracle. Just a community poll so we can know what kind of energy we have facing us this weekend. Let's see. What energy do we have coming towards us this weekend? Let's see, let's do a nice fan out. We have hidden paths. So there's this card is all about awareness, mindfulness, and self-mastery. I really like this. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Six of Swords, where this person is just walking down this path, not quite sure what that bubble is at the end of it, but still walking mindfully towards it nonetheless, even though it's a little bit of an unknown. So you might have some unknown things that are going to be coming towards you this weekend that you may not have initially expected. Let's see what else we have. Spirit and matter. This is paradox between realms and equilibrium. Maybe things are unknown because you're kind of in between spirits, which makes a lot of sense. We just got done with Samhain or Halloween, or where the veil is really thin. If you work with spirits or spirit guides or ancestors, anything like that, maybe this path this weekend is leading you towards them, or they are leading you towards them. And let's do one more. Call to this side. Let's do one more. We have sacred law. So this is rituals, bounties. No, I cannot read. Rituals, boundaries, and practice. And I like that the entire color scheme. So this deck is not all blue. So you have this entire color scheme of these blues. So I feel like this weekend, regardless of this hidden path that's happening, is going to be fairly relaxing, fairly calming, might bring peace your way. So if you've been in a bit of a stressful situation, maybe a really long work week, a life full of simplicity thinks maybe a portal. So this is saying that maybe you have a ritual planned, or maybe you should do a ritual this weekend that helps you connect with your guides or spirits around you, helps you connect with that path that you're currently on, and it might help reveal what that hidden path is. Yes, Fatima, that was the community read with the Earth, Moon, and Shadow. So the cool thing about this deck that I have to go through is there's you can do this exercise where you can determine the transformation cards versus the shadow cards. So I really have to go through and do that. But these are the cards we have as the collective. So it looks like green glyphs won out. So I'm going to set the Game of Thrones off to the side. So I do, just a reminder, I do one card readings from the chat, and I do multi-card readings from tips, or if you are in my Facebook group. So I'm going to just go ahead and get this started, nice and warmed up. And while I do that, let me read the cue out. If you don't hear your name, just try to join again. Sometimes Stream Elements likes to be a butt. So I have Batty G, Fatima, NC, Valencia, Oasis, Sai, and Emma. And also I noticed on the back end that sometimes it'll change your names up. So if you recently changed your name, that's probably why. Although Skittles, I see that it didn't join you for some reason. Actually. Interesting. Got to figure out what's going on with that. 1 second. It toggled itself off. So before Emma, I'm gonna get you in. I think that's where you fit in, Skittles. All right, so up first we have Batty. Yeah, you're totally welcome. All right. So you want to know how the girls around you view you. Let's see. Let's see. So just remember, guys, we have a longer list today. So I'm only doing one card readings. If you'd like a longer, more in-depth reading and to skip the queue, just go ahead and send a tip my way using the link in the description. Let's see. Woo. Okay, we have here the Four of Swords. I feel like they think that they are all the competition and you are not. So we have here the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is really talking about like this period of like rest. So I feel like they can sleep on you and you are not going to provide any like fight or anything like that. Like, so if they've been competitive in like classes or an event or something like that, they feel like they can continue to act that way because you're not going to put up a fight. Or if they've been a little combative towards you, they have been pushing you and you have been backing off from that. So sometimes that can be good, and in the sense that they will eventually get bored of it and stop, but other times they feel like they've won and that is now the way they can continue to act forever. So you need to determine which of the two this situation is, whether it's time for you to be just as competitive back to match that energy or to just kind of let the energy fizzle out. And what I like about this card too is like there's this air of peacefulness. So that's your goal here, is to find whatever path leads you to this peace. And you see these two trees here. It's like you're deciding between these two options. So you have to decide whether you can just sit back, wait it out, let them like fizzle themselves out and get bored, or whether you need to basically match fire with fire. This scene is very much a cooler scene, so I feel like it's probably more of the former, where you just kind of sit back, chill, relax, and kind of just let them fizzle themselves out and let them cool off. But there is that hint of that sun there. So, you know, always stick up for yourself when you need to. Don't let people cross any lines that you don't want them to cross. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Yeah, but nobody deserves to be treated like that. So you always have to find a way to preserve your peace. All right, Fatima, you are up next. Thank you guys for joining the queue and joining me on this Friday. Yeah, good luck, Batty. That's totally not a cool situation. Let's see if he is interested in you, Fatima. Is interested in Fatima romantically? It's undecided. So the Two of Pentacles, two stones in this deck is the Two of Pentacles. And this is kind of like the beginning phases of things where you're just trying to figure things out. And the thing about the Pentacles is it's really slow moving. So it's a really neutral kind of position to be in. This is where they're trying to find balance. So if you guys are new to each other, or like you're entering a new phase of a friendship or something like that, then you kind of have to almost like, you know, ride the wave and see where it will go. So you're in this like transitional phase right now where you're trying to find that balance, whether it is something that should transition into romance and something that just might transition into friendship. So what's interesting is here that even though this is a card traditionally of balance, and you can see this water here is like sort of like the riding the wave kind of thing and just going with the flow, one of these rocks is bigger than the other. So I feel like this person, this guy, he is probably leaning one way or another, but is not quite sure what the final decision is going to be, and anything can switch this up. So even if this is like the romantic rock that is growing and growing, something can change this. So there isn't that balance that's happening yet that has set this in stone, pun intended. So just give it some time. The good thing about Pentacles and especially the Two of Pentacles is there's this like air of wanting to find balance. So I feel like if you just enjoy the process and let it continue down the path that it's going, I think that you'll start to be in a better position to figure that out. It might become more obvious as you do that. Thank you for following Skittle and Kitty. I really should turn off Stream Elements. I don't even use it anymore. All right, NC, you are up next. So you guys, the full moon is next week. You'll have to let me know if you're going to do anything. I have a cord cutting that is long overdue for a friend. You're so welcome, Fatima. I hope that helps, and again, enjoy the journey. But yeah, if you guys are doing anything fun for the full moon, let me know. Making anything. It could be as simple or as elaborate as you want. Oh, and also, let me grab this guy. Doesn't fit into the view that I have right now, but I just bought this pendulum board. Now I'm still practicing with pendulum, but if you want me to include some practice here, then let me know. I bought that size thinking like, all right, Valencia, you are up next, and see if you come back, we can squeeze you back in. Don't be nervous, Skittles. Is this your first reading, or you just have a question you're nervous about? And if you're liking the green glyphs card, deck, let me know. Oh, in a long time. Sandy, thank you. I should just test it out. My goal is to get to build up my TikTok so I can do them over on TikTok so I can just bust them out. It's a little different vibe on YouTube, you know? All right. Valencia and C, if you guys are in the chat, you can hop back in whenever you're back. Oasis of Space, welcome back to the live stream. It's been a while. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Yeah, don't be nervous, Skittle. I know, you caught me on a one card day, but I'm sure it won't be too terribly scary. Oh, and I bought this because I feel like I'll offer you guys some bone readings in the future. Way better than my one card readings, in my opinion, but I'm biased because I like my bones. Dang, did everybody join and just dip? Or I feel like it's only us. Only me and Skittles forever. Sai, are you still hanging out? Whew, that felt good. Yay, Sai, there you are. All right, let me know what your question is. And you'll have to let me know if you guys are enjoying this deck, by the way. It's very interesting. It's too small to riffle shuffle, so I feel like I'm out of sorts a little. Hey, I'll call you who or watch. So the list command doesn't really work too well, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 people in the queue. All right. Let's do the Game of Thrones tarot for you, Sai. Hey, Valencia, after I get I'll get your question. Oh boy. I stubbed my thumb playing dodgeball, and now shuffling is kind of a nightmare. Okay, let's see. Let's see what your November will look like. I'll pull an oracle card for you too, Sai. Whew, goodness. You never realize all the stuff you can't do when your thumb is sore. All right, size November. What will size November look like? So we have, ooh, the 5 of spears in reverse. And then let me pull an oracle card for you. Let me move this out of the way. So that way we can talk about them together. So size November. So just full caveat, this is very much a shadow deck, like a shadow work deck. So it might touch a little more heavily on that kind of stuff, but nothing wrong with that. Especially with this 5 of swords in reverse, I think that's a good thing. So we have the Eye of Odin. So this is about sacrifice, finding knowledge, and new perspectives. So this is kind of like the Hanged Man card, just because I know you're familiar enough with tarot. So with that Eye of Odin, and then it has this, so it has this raven that is holding the eye. So I feel like a lot of you're going to come into a lot of wisdom. This November is really about you perhaps finding wisdom or rediscovering either oneself or the things around you. And I really like the idea of a new perspective. So it's like you see the I'm glad you like shadow work. So you see the eye. So the eye can be either protective or it could be like the all knowing, like the third eye, that kind of thing. So I feel like it's opening up new worlds. You're going to start to really discover new stuff in the month of November, which is really cool because, usually for me at least, November is about being as lazy as possible and kicking back with my family and just relaxing. So I feel like you're on this sort of journey that is happening. And it might really lead to this 5 of spears. So in this deck, 5 of spears is 5 of wands. So in reverse, this is about avoidance and self-doubt. So perhaps this is a sign that if you have been experiencing periods or moments of feeling like you are doubting yourself, feeling like you're avoiding things that you normally wouldn't avoid, or things that you have normally been avoiding that you no longer want to avoid. This Eye of Odin is telling me that you are going to have a journey through November where you start to sort of analyze why you do that, or you might just accidentally discover why you do that. It's kind of hard with one card. But overall, I think that it equates to you opening up with yourself about why you feel like you're in this phase of avoidance or this phase of self-doubt. If you've been rationalizing why it's okay that you've been in this position, I think that you're going to finally stop doing that and finally start down the path. And you said you like to do shadow work, so this might be something you've already started to do, and that means November will be the time where you kind of have that, like, oh, the light bulb goes off, that aha moment. So just to show off this card more, just so you can look at that. And what I really like, there is a full moon next Tuesday. So I wonder if that is of significance. You'll have to tell me if something special happens around the full moon, or if you're planning something around the full moon. Ooh, yeah, that's so exciting that you'll be making progress. I actually really like how the Game of Thrones pairs with that oracle, but I'll keep using whatever you guys want me to use. Valencia, go ahead, put your question in the chat if you're still here. And I like that you're working on these things. I really, now that I have this deck, I probably should do more shadow work, but I'd rather tell people to do it than actually do it. Yeah, I'm so glad you're excited. I love reading for you, Sai. And remember, you can always reach out to me if you ever need a reading and I'm not live, because we're going to get into the holidays and I may or may not be live around Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and stuff. Okay. I thought I must close that out. Okay, does your crush see you in a positive light? Let's see. Does Valentia's crush view them in a positive light? Oof, Butterfingers. Six of Stones, Six of Pentacles. Yeah, absolutely. The Six of Pentacles is actually most sixes, but the Six of Pentacles is a card of like charity and generosity. And if you look at the photo, it almost looks like gold nuggets rising through the sea. So it's really it's a really good way for people to see you. You just have to be a little careful that they don't necessarily see you as like a cash cow kind of thing, either financially or just with your energy and time. So if you've not gotten that vibe, then I think this is a great card for you, a great card for how your crush sees you. And I really like this because this deck is a little more intuitive than I traditionally read. So, you see these rocks kind of standing steady in the sea around them. So it's like you're also a very steady, solid person, maybe someone that's reliable and that they know that they can lean on in times of turbulence. So yeah, I think your crush sees you quite favorably. Thank you for joining us, Svetiana. Hopefully I said that right. Oasis, I know you rejoined, but since you were already in the queue, you can put your question in the chat. And then we have up, if my Twitch buddy Skittles is still hanging out, you can go ahead, put your question in the chat. You're very welcome, Valentia. Happy news. There you are. Yep, I did not forget about you. Really only need these things to go to like these things to only go to like one source, and then Restream will just distribute it everywhere, but I've not figured that out yet. Probably never will because I'm lazy. Let's see. Ooh, I remember. I guess you mean driver's license. I remember those days. I was so eager and excited. I knew, though, that there was no way that I'd fail because I've been driving since I was too young to have been driving. Would you rather the license exam question or the week in store? Which one would you rather do? Hey, Queen Libra, welcome. Happy Friday. Let's do the week in store. I feel like that's always a nice, kind of gives you an overall energy for the week ahead. And just to clarify, I'm talking about like the next, I generally count it from like Monday through Sunday. So just to give you, make sure we're all on the same page. Okay. Let's see what the week ahead has in store for you, Skittles. Week ahead. All right, let's see here. Oh, Three of Pentacles. So, Three of Pentacles is the card of like collaboration at work, usually, or like collaboration within your family unit. But I feel like this is more about like your work or, and when I say work, I mean whatever it is you do for most of your time. So, if you're a student, that means being a student. If you're like a caregiver, that means you're a caregiver, that kind of thing. So, whatever it is you do for work. Um, so I feel like you have some really, I'll say it's fairly neutral, but I feel like you're going to build up some good relationships with some coworkers or classmates, whatever they are to you. And yeah, I really like the Three of Pentacles because of the element of collaboration that happens. I like here too, in this card specifically, how you can see that it's not just stones coming together. So you're going to have a nice, eclectic, diverse group of people that come together. And I think that will form a really strong unit. So yeah, I think you have a really, if you've already kind of felt that happening, I feel like something's going to happen next week that really makes you guys feel like a, I don't want to use the word tribe, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, let me pull an oracle card for you too, since you were nervous. Let's see. Oracle card for, yes, Oasis, you are still on the list. Let's see, oracle card for your week. We have memory and mind. So guidance, analysis, and application. Look at that. So this is probably a little bit more of like the shadow sides of things where you might have to go through these things, these transformations, in order to enjoy this part of it. And the part that stands out to me most is the guidance. And I think that's really where your collaboration and your group, your cohesiveness that you're coming into is really going to come into play. So yeah, so I feel like this is saying as you're going through stuff throughout the week, rely on the group that you're building around you for guidance when you need it. And that could mean, when you need it to apply for things or, whatever stuff. But I really like that too, that there is this key here that this raven is using. So I'm gonna see you as like this raven above this eye, and you're trying to like discern new things, trying to, find this wisdom. And this raven here is like the key to unlocking it. No, Chrissy, we did not quite get to you yet, so no worries. Queen, I got you in the queue. Sandy, what do you mean by my favorite tarot card? Do you mean what's my favorite card in the deck, or do you mean what my favorite deck is at the moment? Queen, so I can try that for you. I'm a little I always like to caveat when giving timings for tarot. It's a little ambiguous, so I'll try my best. I trust it, but it's very nebulous. There's a lot, the future is not set in stone. So just as long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. And Skittles, yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out. Feel free to hang out and chit chat. Let's see. Oasis, go ahead, put your question in the chat if you are still here. And Emma, we have you. So let me read the queue because I know a few people popped in. So if you expect to hear your name but you don't hear it, make sure you use !join to enter the queue. So up now we have Emma, followed by Chrissy. A life full of simplicity. Oasis, you're still in the queue. Who watches the watch? Svetlana. Sorry, I said it wrong the first time. Intuitive Moon, and then Nisi. Is IST, just so I know, is IST their initials? I mean, I could only assume, but just wanted to double check. All right, Emma, let's see. Does IST have, oops, romantic feelings towards you? Okay, just checking. So we have the Knight of Swords. And, you know, I think that there is something, I'm not sure if they're quite romantic yet. The Knight of Swords is a little bit, probably the most brash of the knights. They lack the wisdom that the King of Swords would have. So a lot of times they make these rash decisions. So I'm not sure that they're in a position yet to really say one way or another if they have feelings for you. But the thing that I do like about the knights is that they embody this fiery energy. So there is still like a hint of passion. There's this spark, but there's something to be careful too, is with the Knight of Swords. So you have this air energy with the swords, you have this fire energy with the knights, and when that comes together, that can be either fueling or combustible. So you have to discern whether this situation is just in like, you kind of have a little spark that's going and you're lightly blowing air on it to create like a nice fire, and not that you have like this chaotic situation that if you add romance into it, it will explode. So that being said, this is I kind of count this as ambiguous. It's like a not sure yet kind of. I don't remember what the eight balls used to say back in the day, but it was always like something like, I don't know, try again later, that kind of thing. But here you can see the Knight of Swords. And I also, be careful too, because the Knight of Swords is probably one of my, I don't want to say least favorite knights, but most concerning when it comes to relationship stuff. So what I would do is kind of go with the flow for a little bit. I feel like that's the theme of tonight. Go with the flow. Go with the flow a little bit, and then as things progress between you guys, check back in. All right, Chrissy, you are up next. So following Chrissy, we have A Life Full of Simplicity, Oasis, Who Watches the Watch. Is that a Game of Thrones reference? And then we have Svetlana, Intuitive Moon, Nisi, and then welcoming Virgo into the queue. Hey, Virgo. Thank you for the follow. I feel like I missed a follow. Let me see. Yeah, thank you for following, Virgo. Hi, Lions. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a great Friday. All right, Chrissy, if you make it back, let me know. All right, Syl, you are up next. And let me know if you want the Game of Thrones. No, I know you want the green glyphs. Never mind. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you for letting me know, Queen Libra. On the back end, it does that sometimes. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Do you want to? Oh gosh, I'm cracking. I hope you guys didn't hear that. Do you want an oracle card as well? Whew. So you're thinking of starting a new project for next year, and now interest peaked. And you want to know what the outcome would be if you were to do the project. Okay, let's see what the outcome would be. What would be the outcome of this project? Oh, good. Let's pull. I'm gonna pull 2 more for you. Butterfingers. Let's cut the deck. We have the Ace of Stones and one more card. Let's see, one more. All right, let's see what we have for the Oracle. Let me move these up so you can actually read them. I have a lot going on down here. Okay. So just so you know, you have the Sun, you have the Ace of Stones, which is Pentacles, and then the High Priestess. And then let me pull an Oracle card for you. Really loving how shuffleable this deck is. I don't know if that's a word or not, but I'm loving it. All right. Oh, we got Sacred Law again. Rituals, boundaries, and practice. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to look up what that card is in the book. So it says the only people who get upset about you setting boundaries are the ones who are benefiting from you having none. Interesting. So I feel like overall so this is a little more ambiguous. I feel like if you are starting something, this is just saying if you set those boundaries, you need to be very conscious about the boundaries that you do set and stick to them. So it also mentions that you should probably set up a sacred space where energy is gathered and protected. Okay. So I feel like this is saying like, okay, so overall, I think that you would have a really good journey with this new project. And this is saying that to make the project as successful as possible, create this space for yourself, create these boundaries. You know, you're a planner, so I feel like this is just saying, hey, plan everything out and, you know, set these expectations, set out, you know, goals for yourself, that kind of thing. It says, when sacred law appears in a reading, it is asking us to be mindful of our container, which is our space. One thing we are poorly taught is how to establish boundaries. So this is all about boundaries. But then here we have the Sun, which I think is a sign that this is ultimately going to be something that makes you really happy. It's going to make you really feel very fulfilled and successful. And I think overall it itself will be very successful. And then in the center here, we have the Ace of Stones. So this could be a sign that you might actually this project could be the foundation for something really interesting or good financially. So I know in the past you've gotten sent sponsorships and stuff. So this could be a sign that maybe you're finally transitioning into being paid for your work. And then here we have the High Priestess. So, and you know, I'm biased. I love the High Priestess because I see a lot of myself in the High Priestess. So anytime she pops up in a reading, I'm always happy. But there's this air of wisdom. So I feel like going through this, and especially if you're working on creating these boundaries for yourself, these sacred spaces, and, you know, planning things out, I feel like this project is going to be good for you both financially, and then also maybe for yourself as well spiritually, and maybe you'll grow from it as you progress along this project. So I think overall, just to overgeneralize what all these cards mean, I think this project will be great for you and should totally do it, and then tell me about it. Tell me what your plans are. So yeah, I think this is awesome. So I really am loving this High Priestess because it's like tapping into that subconscious. There's this air of mystery too. So not everything is set in stone, and you might discover some new things that were a little unexpected in this plan, which for you I think is awesome because I know you're a planner. Hi, Dune. Welcome. Sandy Black, thank you for sharing all of those blessings with everyone. You're so sweet. Okay, good. I can't wait to find out. And I love outside. Like, way to go. And now interest is peaked. All right, Oasis, if you are still hanging out, let me know what your question is. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for letting me read for you. I know you don't often let people do that. Ooh, true intentions of between you and Alan. Hopefully I'm saying that right and not like a filthy American. Thank you for the donation, Dune. So I'm gonna finish up with this, and then you can come. I'll call you in next, and I'll pull 3 cards and an oracle card for you. Let's see, what is the truth of you and Alan's connection? True intentions. Let's see. Let's do a nice cut here. Ooh, 10 of Stones. 10 of Stones, just a reminder, is Pentacles. So this is the 10 of Pentacles. And look at that. It's like the goal of finding that ultimate just, I don't want to call it stack, but it's like finding the stones that match you, you know? And I love that. So 10 of Stones is about finding that this is the card of family. So this is really someone who has the ability to be someone who is very long term in your life, someone who is very important. And a lot of times, whether good or bad, in current situations, a lot of times people like that, it's worth reconciling and fixing and finding that ultimate like balance and finding where they fit in. It's almost like finding the perfect rock to create this formation. So I like to hear that there's a lot of water in this deck in the Pentacles. So there's still this hint of like emotional balance that's also happening. You're fine, but it's in the background, right? So there's this like serenity that is sort of just engulfing you guys. So I think eventually, I don't know, and because it's 10, I feel like it's not quite there yet, but I feel like on the horizon, like down the line, this path that you're currently on will lead to like a really strong and balanced unit. But I really like this card. I'm digging this deck right now. All right. Who watches the watch? You are up next. Oh, also just forgot to mention there's like an air of achievement as well, because it's difficult to find this stack, right? It's difficult to get to this point. So I think that you guys will find some achievement with your relationship, your connection. All right, who watches the watch? Let me know if you are still in the chat. Put your question in for me. So while we are waiting, next week, if you want me, actually, I'm going to try to do readings next week. I'm going away for another dodgeball tournament, even though my thumb is jacked up. But going forward, if you want me to incorporate bone readings, let me know. Let me know in the chat, guys. All right. we have Svetlana, if you were still hanging out. Yes to bones. Maybe I'll do them on Instagram. I don't know. I feel like YouTube is very much a like tarot oracle platform, but I'll try it. I'll try it. Oh, so Sai, you said you're doing a tarot spread and full manifestation ritual. Oh man, you sold me on that ritual bath. I took one the other day. It was amazing. I should do another one. Maybe I'll do one when I get back from my tournament. A healing ritual bath. But that sounds awesome. You'll have to report back to us and let us know how it goes. So let's see, Svetlana. Ooh, straggler here. BK's feelings towards you. So this is only going to be one card, so I'll just do BK's feelings towards you. If I can glean out of the one card next actions, I will try. Okay, BK's feelings towards Svetlana. Oh, Dune, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Let me finish this up, and then while I'm doing that, go ahead, put your question in chat. So Five of Wands. Five of Wands it's a card of like there's a lot of combatant energy. There's conflict that's happening here. So I'm not sure that there's very many good feelings and probably not many good actions next. So the Five of Wands is really like, and you can see here, let me show you. You can see here there's this person that is like sending these wands down to attack this person, and they're forced to defend themselves. So I feel like there's a lot of conflict and disagreements. Just you guys are not on the same page. There might even be this air of like competition between you for some reason. So I think that I don't think that there's going to be much of anything that goes forward, and if it does, it's probably not gonna it's probably not gonna really feel very, very good for you. So sorry about that, Svetlana. All right, Dune. Let me toggle you on so I know. All right. I'll do the tarot first, and then we'll do the oracle. All right, Dune. I'm gonna know if your finances in 2023 will be better than this year. Finances in 2023 for Dune. Will they be better than this year? All right. So I don't usually take jumpers, but I feel like I'm called to with this deck for some reason. Let me grab the oracle cards here. Yeah, you're welcome, Svetlana. Let's see. Financial overview for 2023 for Dune. I like your name, Dune. Is that based off the movies, books, or whatever they are? It's a really interesting movie. I have to watch it again. All right. Ooh, we have the Earthling card. So this is grounding, centering, and connection. Oh, that's curious. So I think that overall, yes, they will be better, but this is not going to be without some work on your part. So let me read this Earthling card for you. See what some things pop out of this. So it says one of the things that stands out, it says, now understand this connection was not only a vital step to surviving, but to thriving. So this vital step is grounding and centering. So I feel like if you If you're going into 2023 thinking you're going to do the same things that you did in 2022, that's not going to work out. So you need to sort of ground, center yourself, and see, rethink the things that you need to do going forward. If you kind of already have a plan in mind, just, reflect on them and see, how they differ from what you've been doing before, and what kind of energy you need to put in for those changes to be made. So one of the things too is if you're like witchy or spiritual or in any kind of way, try to connect with the earth, so that way you can I feel like, you give it to the earth, it gives back, that kind of thing. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I kind of recommend that as well. Thank you for tipping, Ari. I will get you up next after Dune. So here we have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Wands, and then the Ten of Wands. So the Ace of Cups stands out the most to me because I feel like they're kind of separate. The Ace of Cups, and the reason I feel like they're separate is because the cups and the wands don't really mix. They kind of conflict with each other a little bit. So if someone's saying like, yes, you have this Ace of Wands, you're gonna be starting this emotionally fulfilling journey next year. So 2023 is really going to give you that spark you need, that changes that you need in order to start to feel more fulfilled in your like financial growth or financial journey, whatever it is you're doing financially. But then we have the Two of Wands. So this being at the center of your reading, and to kind of piggyback off what I was saying with the Earthling, this is really going to take a lot of planning. But what I like is, especially in both of these cards, this person is pushing forward. So you're still going to be pushing forward, and this guy is elevating himself. So you might be starting off down here for the beginning of 2023, but you are going to be making vertical progress, which is kind of what we want with finances, right? So with the Two of Wands, there is that element that you will have to make some decisions. So this is where that kind of grounding, that centering, that focusing that I was telling you about, that's where this is coming in to make sure you're making the right decisions. But then you have this planning. So you're planning like your path from point A to point Z. So you're trying to find out the right path for you. And then at the end, we have the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is a really interesting card. So you have accomplished what you wanted, but not without a lot of stress, not without a lot of just weight on your shoulders. So if you are holding yourself to this level of accountability, you're going to reach it, but you might be a little burnt out by the end of 2023. So you might be proud of yourself, especially with this Ace of Cups here. You might be proud. I feel like you've really healed from the scars of whatever the financial situation of 2022 has left you in, but it's still going to be a little exhausting. And sometimes you kind of have to go through that grind, right? I don't generally like grind culture, but sometimes in order to get to what we're looking for, we have to set these strict goals and we have to just grind it out, right? So yeah, I think that ultimately, so your original question was a yes or no. Ultimately, yes. But within that, you are going to have to work hard at it. You are going to be a little tired by the end of it, but you will be proud. You will be feeling like you have started something that is going to be emotionally fulfilling for you in the long run. So I hope that helps you, Dune. Thank you again for the tip, and I hope you enjoyed this extended reading. All right. Ari, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Oh, thank you for the one card reading, Sandy. I can always totally take the Fool. I love that. Starting new things, and I don't know what the new things are going to be yet, but I'll figure it out. What will the energy of 2023 be? You guys had such similar questions. This is interesting. All right. Let's see the energy of 2023 for Ari. Oof. One more card. Oh, you're going to have a really nice 2023. Let's see what this deck has for you. Energy for Ari for 2023. Ooh, okay. This card is very pretty. This deck is gorgeous, guys. So this is excuse me so much. Excuse me. This is Rising Sun, Hope, Courage, and Optimism. So 2023 is going to be bringing some new life and new like joys on the horizon. So just to let you know, I'm going to close the queue, guys. Everybody who is in the queue is in the queue, so you don't have to worry. I just want to close it because I'm getting to time. Hey, Bill Lush. You made it into the queue. So we have some hopes. We have some courage and optimism that you will be experiencing. Let's see what the tarot has for you. We have the Nine of Wands, the Four of Swords, and then the World. So I feel like looking at this, I'm going to look at it fairly linearly, or this is a progression of time, right? So the Nine of Wands is the card of persistence. So a lot of times, and another thing about the Nine of Wands is it shows courage, which we saw in this card. Usually, I feel like this is like saying you're persisting from whatever is currently going on in 2022. You're going to have to manage and deal with that going into 2023. So the earlier part of the year is probably going to be a little more like you are persevering through whatever that situation is. But at the core of it, I love these cards are literally the same thing. But this one is more so you're persevering through something, and that is giving you hope and courage. Whereas this is more like you see the good things on the horizon. So that gives you hope and courage. So it's really a great transition into things that I see. So following that period, I feel like you're going to allow yourself this period of rest. You're going to allow yourself this time to relax and rejuvenate, recoup from whatever it is, all that hard work this Nine of Wands really asked of you in the beginning of the year. I like that we're starting to hint towards the sun though. So you're relaxing, but you're starting to see these happy things shining through. And then we're ending here with the World. The World is the final card of the major arcana. This is saying you have reached the end goal. The end of the year is really going to be the culmination of your accomplishments, your journey. You're really going to find some joys and just feeling I guess accomplished. I'll just use that word again. Feeling accomplished by the time you reach the end of the year. And you start to see, like, I like too, you see, like, we have no sun in this. We have a little peak of a sun. And then the sun is like the subject, even though the world is in front of it. So the sun is a very warming and joyful and successful card. So I think that this is a really great journey. This means 2023 is probably going to look, if I'm going to use my other hand. If this is a line graph, this is where we're starting and this is where we're ending, you know? So, and then overall, there's just I guess the theme for the year is going to be hope and courage, but it just transitions. So having hope and courage in a darker time versus having hope and courage when seeing like the excitement and joys ahead of you. So that's a really awesome transition that you're going to go on through for the year. And thank you. I'm glad you like the cards. These are the Green Glyphs Tarot, and this is the Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. And thank you so much for the tips. I'm glad that resonated with you. I hope your 2023 ends up being that and more. So up next, we have Intuitive Moon. If you are still hanging out in the chat, go ahead, put your question in. And then let me read off who is left in the queue. Ari, did your name used to be a mom, Amy? If not, I'll just read who's all in the queue. So we have Queen Libra, Virgo, Lion's Den, a mom, Amy, and then Bone Lush. And that will be it for the night. Nope. Okay. Glad I read their name then. All right, Queen, are you still hanging out in the chat? So I will be live. I'm going to try to be live next Friday. It probably won't be as fancy a setup because I'll be in a hotel, but I will try to be live again next week. So if you guys need any follow-ups to your questions, then yeah, you can just check me out next week. Let's see. So okay. Just checking. I didn't see you check in, but so I thought maybe in the back end it was messing up names. Okay, Queen Libra, you just want to know when you will get your taxes, right? Let's see. Let's see, when will Queen get her taxes? Ah, look what popped up. Okay, Nine of Wands. So Wands, quickest moving energy. So it'll be in a few days, but it's not going to be like the next day or two. So it'll be more like closer to almost a week or maybe about a week, if that makes sense. So just because Wands, that fiery, fast moving energy, but then you also have that 9 there. So it's just like a few days. So hopefully that's true. You'll have to let me know because I do tend to be a little leery about doing timing with tarot because it can be so nebulous. But yeah, I've done it before. Just like to let people know what they're getting into. You had to contact Congress for who he was? What do you mean in regards to your taxes? Oh, I see. So you had people that were messaging you about it. Yeah, I feel like you're in the end game here then. You only have a little bit longer to wait. Which is good. So let me know. All right, Intuitive Moon, you want to know who... So this is going to be a little tough to do with one card, but what I'll do is just describe the characteristics that I see of the card, and it will be up to you to determine who you think that person is. All right. Who hacked Intuitive Moon's old phone? Let's see who that might have been. Ooh, we have the High Priestess. um, yeah, you're so welcome, Queen. Thank you for hanging out and waiting. So I mentioned earlier the High Priestess is she is someone. So I feel like this might be someone. It's definitely giving off feminine energy. So I feel like this is definitely a woman or someone who is female presenting in some kind of way. And I feel like they are probably trying to what's a good word? Trying to get under your skin in some kind of way, which is not hard to do when you're hacking people's crap, right? Like that shit's annoying. So this person is someone who you probably don't know very well, but someone you know probably knows them. So if you know anyone who is into both like tech but also really spiritual, like whether they consider themselves a witch or you just kind of into that new agey kind of pagan practice, that kind of thing. So that's the kind of person that this vibe gives off. Also in this card, this person has darker hair, so and comes off a little tall. So if you know someone who is a little taller, maybe you don't know them very well, but they are maybe in your outer circle, I'll put it, like a friend of a friend of a friend kind of thing, who has darker hair in the tech industry, but is also tends towards like the pagan sort of new agey spiritual practices, that kind of thing. Let me pull one more card just because this is a little new for me, so I'm going to see if I can get all that I can. And also I want to say this person probably comes off as seeming really, really friendly. So it might not be someone that in passing, if you've met them, it might not be someone who you would initially come to mind because they seem really, really friendly. So I would think of people in the past that you've come across that you don't know very well, but they might be around quite often and know things. They could know things about you or know things about your friends. Taller, darker hair, and maybe even a little overly friendly. Hey, Dash Files. Hi. I'm actually wrapping up for the night, but if you want a reading, I'll add you to the end of the list. Your girl is tired. I hope that helps. Intuitive Moon, thank you for letting me kind of practice with you. I hope that brings people to mind. I've never actually done that before. So, Virgo, if you are still hanging out in the chat. And so by creepy, I wonder if that is what is being like overly nice, because that comes off as kind of creepy to me in any way. Like I grew up in a place where people who are too nice are up to something. So okay. One of these days I will remember to maybe over Saturday night or something after our FDC tournament. I swear one of these days I'm going to remember my cards. I swear to God. Lion's Den, are you still hanging out? You're welcome, Intuitive Moon. Did you end up getting I've been telling myself I just need to remember since I was a kid, and I will never just remember. What I need to do is just immediately after this, I won't do it, but what I need to do is immediately after this live, go and pack a tarot deck in my book bag that I use as my carry-on. I mean, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to go crack a beer when I'm done, but yeah, I would totally throw the phone away. You know, save whatever you need to save off of it, but it's of no use to you anymore. All right. Hey, Mom, Amy, you're up next. I feel like there's people hanging out. Maybe I'm just forgetting the lag between my voice and you guys hearing it and then being able to chat back. No, nope. And Mom's on it, so nope. So that's two questions in one. I'm going to focus on the last one and hope that the first one kind of gets answered with it. Okay. I think that's the best course of action. All right. So you want to know if he'll contact you before the 15th of November. Ooh, 11 days. Let's see. Or at least from where I am. I don't know where you are. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Will he contact you before 15 November? Let's see. Ooh, Knight of Wands. You know what? I think so. So I'm trying to look at what our dates are. I think you kind of have it pegged right for about that time frame. It might be a few days before that, but before the actual 15th, but that is well within what your question states. So I would say absolutely. The wands are I'm sure you heard this in the previous reading, but Chrissy, yes, you did. But since you're here, I can still squeeze you in. So wands are fast moving. They're like days, but because this is like past the tens, this is the 11th card of the thing. I feel like this will be very much pushing that 15 time frame. So sometimes it's a few days pushing that like week time frame. Yeah. Ugh. All right. So yeah, I think ultimately before 15 November. Yeah. Give or take. Bone Lush, go ahead. And Chrissy, go ahead, put your question in the chat. I will finish up with whoever posts their question last. All right, what's coming for Chrissy in love soon? Oh, we have the Hermit. So I actually think nothing right now. The Hermit is saying that this is a period where you should focus on introspection, focus on yourself, focus on focusing within, focus on the things that you actually want. So I don't think anything actually is coming towards you right now. But what I like here is, especially in this card, this hermit is looking forward. So, and you see that they are on a path. So, this is saying that if you want to be on this path, want to invite love into your life, want to invite these things to come towards you, you need to work out internally what it is that you're actually looking for so you can project that type of energy and so that you can make sure that you find the things that actually work for you long term. So yeah, Unfortunately, nothing right now, but I think that this is a great card that can lead you in a very good direction. What I really like to is, sorry, I need like two hands. What I like is that you have this little bushel of like flowers. So there's a sign that things can be blooming, but you just have to work on what it is you want to bloom, if that makes sense, right? So if you want a rose garden, but you this entire time have been working on tulips, that's not what you're looking for. So whether those tulips come to you or not, they're not on your mind because it's not what you actually want. So yeah, I think that you just need to give yourself a little more time, focus more inwardly, and I think that this is going to have a long-lasting impact on how you handle things romantically going in the future. All right, I think I got through the queue. Huh, I did it. Hey, Avon. I am actually finishing up for the night, so sorry you just missed me, but I will be here next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. If you guys enjoyed this deck, go give Ruin Vern on Instagram some love. She is super awesome. You can see the information here. And if you enjoyed this deck, go ahead and check out James R. Eads on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff, because this deck was MVP of the night. I really enjoyed it. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I will catch you next week. Bye.